everybody, welcome back to INSANEBRIT Gaming. I am the INSANEBRIT, and this is this week's News Friday, where I talk about all the week's gaming news, gaming topics, and some anime news if I find any. And there was quite a few stories coming up last week, at the end of the week, and for whatever reason I decided to do a vlog. All the stories came out late, so I decided not to do a News Friday, and then they kind of built up over the weekend, and of course this week as well. I'm filming this a little bit early, a few days early, because I'm busy over the next few days. But yeah, the big story, we'll jump straight on in at it, is Microsoft reportedly looking into buying EA, Valve, and PUBG Studio. Now there's so many things to say about this, it is unreal. But I'm going to try and keep it as relatively simplistic as I can. I'm just going to read you a statement here. Xbox One's relative lack of exclusives might be a figure of the past as Microsoft is looking into acquiring EA, according to recent reports. These are reports / rumor mill, as it were. Polygon stated that a reliable source close to Microsoft revealed that Electronic Arts has been targeted as a possible acquisition for Microsoft, while also mentioning Valve PUBG Corp as two more publishers that Microsoft is eyeing. While an acquisition as major as EA seemed like an impossibility, Microsoft has the cash and the need for more exclusives, and now Phil Spencer has graduated from the kids table in his position as an executive vice president for gaming. Microsoft seems willing to invest in Xbox and Windows gaming than ever before. Scoring exclusive franchises like Madden and FIFA, not to mention Battlefield and BioWare's upcoming titles like Anthem, would be a huge coup for Microsoft. It would also shine an interesting light on Xbox's recent decision to release all of its first-party titles on Game Pass at launch. So the next part of this story is this good for gamers? Well, of course it's going to be good for Xbox, but as for us PlayStation gamers, I'm unsure about that. And I'm going to give you a few angles on why possibly it won't be good for the likes of PlayStation gamers in general. Because most of the games that EA have are multi-platform. You look at FIFA, you look at Madden, and everything else. They may decide to scrap that and say, you know what, you have to now go and buy an Xbox to play these games, and making them more a complete exclusive to the likes of Xbox. And I don't want to have to do that. I like my freedom of choice to go and play multi-platform games on whichever console I want. Now this isn't just for EA games. This is for Assassin's Creed. This is for FIFA. You got Prey. You got Call of Duty, you've got the Telltale games, X, Y, and Z. No, they're not EA games, but you can play them on multi-platform, and I'm not limited in any way, shape, or form. Having said that, my concern is these multi-platform games are already established on the PlayStation 4, Xbox, and PC. You're free to play where you want. So the idea that all these fans are now going to have to switch to Xbox is really going to piss a lot of people off, and that's not good. Having said that, I feel Microsoft is very well money motivated, and I don't think they're that stupid to turn down PlayStation fans' money from PlayStation fans then funding directly their rival. Could you imagine that? Sony's fans funding Microsoft? Oh my god, you've just tapped into a huge market there. So I don't think they're that stupid to cut those off. There's contracts in place already. Having said that, contracts end and are no longer viable, or you know what I mean, so like you don't have to follow them anymore, and they can do whatever the hell they want. But so it's kind of concerning if you're a PlayStation fan. Having said that, like I said, I hope to God Microsoft are not that stupid to cut off the likes of PlayStation fans. I think it's going to cost around £4 billion to acquire EA. It may be more, it may be less. This may be an uneducated guess, but I'm just going to throw out a number, and I'm saying $4 billion. You know, like I said, we've had freedom to play where we want, and I have a personal preference. And the idea that Microsoft already lost the console war in the beginning, where they came out with you wouldn't be able to borrow games to a friend, and they want to go digital only, and people were pissed off at that. A lot of Xbox fans said, nah, fuck that, we're not buying a console, we're going to switch to PlayStation 4. And you know, when the PlayStation 4 press conference came out, they were laughing. They even did that bit where the guy gave the other dude a game, and people were just laughing at it because they were mocking the shit out of Microsoft for it. And they'd already lost before the console even came out. That was absolutely incredible. It's very anti-gamer. A lot of people felt that they did. Now you've got EA, them supposedly acquiring EA. There with their microtransaction bullshit. That's too dickhead companies coming together, and I don't know how that's going to play out. I'm kind of concerned that they do cut off certain games. A new IP like Anthem, if you told me that's on Xbox, then I'll say, okay, that's on Xbox only, that's fine. I haven't had that option to play it on PlayStation, it's just on the Xbox. Fine, I'll go and play it on the Xbox, not a problem. And I'll say, wow, what a great game. But if you start taking already established franchises and moving them over to Xbox, it's going to piss a lot of fans off. And, having said that, I don't think they're stupid enough to turn down money from PlayStation fans, like I said, but a part of that is also, well, that's the business model of, look, it's only on our console now, buy our console, buy our console. And they're going to try and want to recoup that $4 billion or whatever it may be to acquire, to get that money back. And they'll do it, no doubt. They'll do it, and they'll do it easily. $4 billion is nothing to them. It's pocket change, especially for like Bill Gates' personal wealth, as well as whatever the company is rattles on and does X, Y, and Z. So yeah, that's one element. Then you've got the Valve situation. They were able to buy, if they're able to buy Valve, who owns Steam, essentially, I think that's going to be about maybe 2 or 3 billion, possibly 4. I don't know, but I think it's going to be less than EA. I don't know, or maybe even the same amount. I don't know. There's a big marketplace for PC. Of course, everyone owns a PC. There's a lot of. I've even touched on PC gaming and funded PC gaming. I just don't do a lot of it, especially on my channel. I think Civilization maybe I've played, and a few other games, strategy here and there, because I don't want to play them on console. I don't think it's very good to play on console. When I go on Xbox console in itself, I do see a lot of games, 30, 40 games I can see, and I'm like, why are these games? I never even heard of these games. And that's partly the problem for me. When I go on there, now, if you're a Steam fan or PC gamer, you go on there and you trudge through the shit slew of games. There's a ton of games, fuck ton, and you've never even heard of them. Some of them might be strategy, some of them you might have, but then again, I don't watch a load of PC YouTubers and stuff like that. I'm just, but even just general PC gaming, I only pick up a few here and there, maybe Warhammer or something like that. The big budget games. Everything else is just meh. It's there. You know what I mean? And it's £2, it's £5, it's £10. You can buy all these cheap games and stuff like that, but a lot of them have a problem with advertising. I've never even heard of them. So when I'm on Xbox and I'm trudging through that shit, I don't want to have to Google games that I've never even heard of to find the gameplay, to look at it, to then go, I want to buy it, I don't want to buy it, and then to repeat that for 30 other games. That's a big issue for me. If you're a Steam fan, you're probably used to doing that, or you can just click the advert on the thing in itself, or whatever, and then look at the reviews, so that may be better for you. So it feels like if they do acquire Valve, you're going to have more PC games coming to the Xbox. Which, ironically, I can only assume. I mean, it's going to tap into a market and they get money, but at the same time, do you really want to play a PC game, which is going to be better on PC, on an Xbox One X, or whatever? See what I mean? Why would you do that when you've got maybe just say 2 Titans? I'm just throwing it out there. Someone's got 2 Titans. Why would you do that? You wouldn't. If anything, I think it might just give the option for an Xbox player to play a game they've never played before. Having said that, like I said, I don't want to sludge through the shit. There's going to be so many games there trying to find something decent. I don't know. It's I'm not saying the games ain't good or wouldn't be good for Microsoft, but I just can't see myself being any more interested in Xbox than I already am currently. I prefer big budget games like the likes of Anthem, Gears, or X, Y, and Z like that. I don't really want to play indie titles, you know what I mean? But that's just my preference. You may love it. I fucking can't stand it, especially with the fact I have to research every single individual game. Anyway, I think I've said all about I have to say on this story, to be honest with you. I don't like the idea of them acquiring EA. I hope to God that EA remain independent. If they want to buy studios, then buy studios that no one's really heard of, and then make a game your own. You know what I mean? Make it your own. Give them the money to make a great game, and and then just say that's for your console only, and promote the fuck out of it, because there's not enough promotion for Xbox. If anything, it's multi-platform that's being promoted. What's that game that came out? I don't know what it is. The guy with Hello Neighbor, or something like that. I know that's Xbox One exclusive, but I never really saw any advertisements by it. I just really didn't. It's really poor promoted. I think Cuphead's a better promoted game, of course. I saw people playing it and stuff like that. So I will be picking that up at some point as well. But, it is what it is. They need to advertise a lot better, their games. And I just hope to God that EA remains independent. That's my take on it. I don't know what your take is on it. Let me know in the comment section below. Okay, so the next couple of stories that I have here are Red Dead Redemption 2 is coming out in October 26, 2018. Apparently has been delayed. The next story is rumor to be the next Assassin's Creed. The code name has been leaked apparently, but again, this is not confirmation, of course, because they did a similar thing with the previous game. Assassin's Creed Origins, released back in October, has seen plenty of support from Ubisoft since release. While Ubisoft supports Origins, another online studio allegedly has been working on animation for another studio. An employee of the studio, which will not be mentioned to preserve the source, has reportedly revealed the code name of the upcoming Assassin's Creed game. Speaking with PlayStation Universe, the source stated that the upcoming game is being called Assassin's Creed Dynasty. Well, of course, you know, you've got the XY, I can't net all their names or whatever, you know, the dynasty in China and the families that run China or whatever for hundreds of years, etc., you know, the Ming dynasty and all that kind of stuff. So it kind of reminiscence is that straight away you're thinking, wow, what? You know what I mean? So straight away you're thinking of China, which everyone's begging for it to happen, including myself. An insider found on Reset Era named John Harker. I thought they said they were going to, whatever, an insider found on, has clarified that Dynasty is the code name for the upcoming game that is not set in China. So even though it's called Dynasty, they're saying it's not set in China, and is being suggested the code name for Origins was Empire, which didn't quite suggest ancient Egypt, at least until we saw the pyramid. Maybe that's Ubisoft's way of throwing people off. So keep people guessing where the next game's going to be. Maybe that's been the latest thing over the past few years. Of course, they go to different places and stuff like that, England, France, whatever. Interestingly enough, Ubisoft included the Eastern Dynasties pack, which appears to be themed after the Mongolian armor with fur lining, helmet and general design. It should be noted that there's been no confirmation on which country the origin of armor is from. So yeah, looking at the armor itself, he's got a little bow, a little shield. It might be the Viking era, if not the Mongolian. There's ships in the background and mountains. From all the things I'm looking at here, ships, maybe Viking or the Mongolian era. I'm going to throw it out there. Just going to say the Mongolian era or Genghis Khan, I believe it is, who's like the bad guy, a big guy who owned everything. Mongolia was an incredible empire. You know, I watched the TV show and they owned everything. I mean, they were like, they took over everything. They went as far as Russia, I believe, or Italy. They owned everything. And in the course of a generation of just 100 years, of course, of a son and then another son or whatever, they lost everything, essentially. The empire started to break up and crumble. But man, they were an incredible nation. I know people say, yeah, there were monsters and they killed and pillaged and X, Y, and Z. I know that. But as a force, they literally spread across the lands and they fought so well, had their battle techniques and stuff like that were so advanced that they conquered everyone who they came across. It was absolutely incredible. I recommend you watch the show on Netflix with Genghis Khan in it. I can't remember what they called it. I haven't watched it in a while. Marco Polo. Watch Marco Polo and you will know exactly what I'm talking about. Highly recommend that show on Netflix. But I cannot wait to play the Assassin's Creed in Egypt, which I've still got to do a playthrough of, and of course I will be playing this one at some point as well. The next story is Far Cry. Now, if you pre-order Far Cry Gold Edition, you get Far Cry 3, a classic edition, which is a good game, for Xbox One and the PlayStation 4. Don't say anything about PC. But apparently, if you buy the Gold Edition, you get the Far Cry 3 Classic Edition. And also, Far Cry 5 Season Pass, apparently, it takes you, which, if you buy the Gold Edition, you get that, and you get the map packs as well. It takes you to Vietnam and Mars. There's a new story trailer. I haven't even seen it yet, but I cannot wait to check that out. So I'll probably end up buying the DLC because I will be doing a playthrough of that. I platinumed the last 2 Far Cries, so that's how good they are. And they're open world. Now, you know me, I don't play many open world games other than Metal Gear, Assassin's Creed, and Far Cry. Those are my big ones that I've been playing recently. So yeah. So that's going to be very, very interesting. We go to Mars. They always do unique stuff when it comes to the Far Cry games. Takes you out your comfort zone, puts you in one area of the world or whatever, then just does totally side mission crazy. You know, or adds decent elements with the Yeti DLC that they had in last year. Okay guys, I've got one more story, and that's going to wrap up this News Friday, and that's to do with Black Ops 4 2018. Ooh. Okay guys, our last story, at least at this point, I haven't found anything new, is to do with Black Ops, Call of Duty Black Ops 4. A notable industry insider who is said to be close to the development team, Call of Duty has reported that the next installment of the franchise will continue with the Black Ops series, and is rumoured to be coming to the Nintendo Switch. Some things are certain in life. Death Tax is an annual release Call of Duty game. The popular shooter has been a yearly cycle for over a decade. Jesus Christ. And 2018 will be no different, but now fans can start to get excited as an industry expert begin to leak what the next game will be. Marcus Sellers, who has a track record of predicting the future releases and software in the gaming industry, has said, in no uncertain terms, Call of Duty Black Ops 4 will be released set in the modern era and boots on the ground combat. Ooh, sounds interesting. As expected, it will be released on both PlayStation 4, Xbox One and PC, but more surprisingly, Sellers claims it will also be available on the Nintendo Switch. Seller himself is known to be an expert in all things Nintendo, specifically having predicted the release of Nintendo Labu. He states that Nintendo Switch version of the upcoming Call of Duty game will be ported by a company that is familiar with COD games. Sellers also correctly predicted the remastered version of Dark Souls to be receiving a port to the Nintendo Switch, and certainly has some weight into this prediction, but nothing, of course, is confirmed. It is undeniable that it would make a lot of sense, however, for Call of Duty devs to be keen to tap into the booming market of the Switch has generated, and it would certainly be interesting to see how it would operate with the DLC, rumble motion controls, etc., etc. So, we have a reliable source, supposedly, who's predicted in the past multiple predictions, and said it's going to be Black Ops 4. I would like to see them continue the Black Ops series. I very much do enjoy the Black Ops series. It's one of my favourite games. Kind of wanted a Modern Warfare. I mean, I'm hoping what they do is they throw in a Modern Warfare 4 remake in there. I don't know, like they did with one of their previous games or whatever. In theory, but I don't know if that's going to be true. I still have yet to play the Call of Duty, the latest one, where World War II or whatever, which I still have to get into myself before that one comes out, of course. But I have just played a World War II shooter the past couple of weeks, so I'm going to stay away from that, whatever. But at least this is what an industry insider is saying. We're going to have the next Black Ops. It's going to be coming out. That will be 2018's. Of course, it's not confirmed, but this is what we know thus far. If you're interested in that kind of thing, it is January now. No, February now. I have to get cracking on Call of Duty at some point over the next 1 or 2 months or whatever, because I don't want to leave it too long like I did with Battlefield, which took me like a whole year to play, to get around to doing or whatever. Anyway guys, that's about it for this week's News Friday. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Please like, share, comment and subscribe. Follow me on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. If you want to support my channel, you can check out the links in the description below. You can donate to me, buy my merchandise, whatever it is, it's up to you. Or you can just donate via PayPal or get a shout out for your channel, it's up to you. And I will see you next time. Thank you so much for watching.